With Congress returning to work today, conservatives will now be targeting the EPA's so-called regulatory overreach. And with more on this, here's One America's Hines from Washington.
In the remaining days of this legislative session, conservatives in Congress would very much like to restrain what they believe has become an imperial EPA. Alabama Congressman Gary Palmer is at the forefront of that effort with legislation saying that Congress never gave the EPA the power it's now exercising.
H.R. 3880, stopping EPA overreach, declares that Congress never gave EPA the authority to regulate greenhouse gases. I think that's very significant. A lot of people are going to get lost in the issue of climate change and the Clean Power Plan, and obviously this bill deals directly with whether or not the EPA can regulate greenhouse gases. But the bigger issue is it answers the question of who makes the law, Congress or the EPA or any other federal agency.
Palmer's plan to end EPA overreach has been endorsed by several conservative advocacy groups. One of those groups is the Texas Public Policy Foundation, a free market think tank which often advocates on environmental issues. Doug Domenech is a director there who says the EPA is out of control.
This has been the worst 8 years in the production of regulations from EPA. Well, I think EPA is out of control because of this tendency to want to continue to impose new regulations. Another great example is they are pushing for a new ozone standard while the last standard is still being implemented. So they jumped ahead to make it tougher for every state to comply.
Even many rural areas with no sources of air pollution would be non-compliant with the new EPA ozone standards, says Domenech.
Studies have shown that places like that have no industrial activity, like the middle of Yellowstone or the middle of other large national parks, will not be able to meet the new standard that EPA has set. Elements of Palmer's bill to restrain the EPA may be included as part of House Speaker Paul Ryan's energy package, which is likely to be taken up by the House in the next few weeks. Hines, One America News, Washington.